I am currently at 83 subscribers, and that is insane to me because that means that I am 17 away from 100, and that means that I am almost to the milestone at which it is supposed to be the hardest to reach. Hey there, my name is Henry Sierra and thank you for clicking on this video. On my channel you can find my journey through filmmaking as I pursue my passion through these videos. I also talk about creative theory, things like the approach, the perspective, the mindset, and things that you can do to make yourself better on this platform. Now that being said, let's get started. Alright, so the approach of start making the content that you wish was on this platform. The things that you wish you would be able to watch, make that kind of thing. This theory is something that I believe in, and it's something that I've been trying to develop throughout my channel, and this is why I think you should do it too. So something that I've been talking about a bit more frequently now than I used to is how I started out on this platform. This isn't the first channel that I've ever had. I've actually been through a few different channels, I think 3 or 4 at most, and my first one was made in middle school, about 7th or 8th grade. On this channel, it was birthed from me getting a camcorder, a Sony camcorder, for Christmas that I have also made a video about that I will make one more in depth because I think that camera deserves its own video. It kind of started this entire thing. But with that camcorder, I would just document my days and kind of give a recap. My year recap video that you can click up here, that is kind of a more advanced, just more developed version of what I used to post back then. That was just more complex because it was about a year, not about a few hours during my day, like how it was back then. So right off the bat, it was documentation that started everything. I was kind of obsessed with being able to record and capture moments and just kind of have them in a vault of things that I could look back on. That concept what is more defining to me now that I'm getting a little bit older, but it was still there back then. I just didn't notice it as much, but that is what has driven me. Okay, so that's how I started out, and then a little bit more down the line as I'm aging, and this is around 17, 18, and junior year in high school. That is when I made the second or third channel, something like that, but it was just different content. I was a little bit younger, I was into different things, but I was still learning. So, current channel. First channel I surpassed 100 subscribers in, or 4, I guess. It was still documentation, but at the same time I was starting to learn about B-roll and stock footage and sound design and things like that, so I was getting a little bit more dynamic. So my storytelling got a little bit better. It was just kind of dramatic pop-up kind of editing, if you get what I mean. They'll have you suicidal till they say it's all this is all bitches. Hey, what the Around this time is when I'm starting to get into a lot of YouTube, and I'm starting to think about filmmaking a little bit more because, yeah, I was taking it a bit more seriously now because I was almost going to graduate and like, okay, what am I going to do for my job? What am I going to pursue in my career? And filmmaking was one of those options for me. That's when I found Casey Neistat, and Casey Neistat introduced me to storytelling.
I'm in St. Bart's, which is like a small island somewhere in the Caribbean. Today is March 25th, 2015. It's also my 34th birthday, and I have a big announcement to make. I want to make more movies, but there's so much going on in my life, it makes it tough. So I've decided, starting today, my 34th birthday, I'm going to make a movie every day.
He was able to show me how to form stories on YouTube by yourself without a huge team. So at this point, slowly but surely, my filmmaking style kind of developed into a 3-act narrative with a climax and a setup and a resolution, along with documentation. I kind of started fusing these together. Alright, and finally, where I plan to go from here. So what I found myself doing is I have formed this kind of niche for myself of documentation, 3-act narrative, and this kind of stock footage, text-oriented, dramatic, kind of morphed film style. I mean, I guess some of what my filmmaking is abstract. It's not completely live action filmmaking. It's broken up into a lot of different styles of filmmaking that tie into one kind of storytelling style. So yeah, I think that making content that you wish was on this platform is probably one of the best ways to start making content or continue making content on this platform. I am currently at 83 subscribers, and that is insane to me because that means that I am 17 away from 100, and that means that I am almost to the milestone at which it is supposed to be the hardest to reach. Chances are, if that content isn't there and you wish it was, people around you also wish it was. Well, around the world, that is. Not literally right next to you. That'd be weird. And what that has grown for me into is, well, I'm documenting my journey of finding myself as a filmmaker. I'm building my career in my filmmaking business on YouTube as well as this freelancing thing that I'm starting. And I want to show that as a 3-act narrative because that is my favorite part of storytelling, but I also want to use documentation because it brings a very real-time, realistic value and feeling to these films. So that is where I am heading. I guess a good example could probably be Colin and Samir. For one, I think they are most of what I am trying to strive for. Not saying that I want to copy their style, but a lot of what they do is what I find myself wanting to do, but in my own way. That's kind of a direction. Also Casey Neistat, and I think John Fish. I really like his style and a lot of what he's doing. And the tone and mood that he sets for his films is really relaxing and very enjoyable for me, so that is also a direction I'm heading in. So something along those 3 kind of filmmakers is what this is kind of heading for. I also love the idea of somehow incorporating value to you guys, or tips, or things that I've learned, obviously, that is in my branding. So if I can form a combination of those styles along with tips or advice or strategizing or taking action against things that you can then learn about and develop that way. Alright, so that is the end of this one. If you guys have enjoyed or if any of this video has helped you at all, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, if you are starting out on YouTube or if you have made a few films already but you don't really know exactly where you want to go, between 3-act narrative, documentation, tip-oriented videos, gaming, streaming, something, whatever. What do you think you're heading for? And is it a combination of a couple of those or a few of those? Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, I would love to interact with you guys and figure out what you guys are actually creating as well. Okay, and with that being said, I post on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.